we can get together and do the ghosting episode. Well, I'd actually rather talk about that shit now.
Yeah, because she's
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Oh,
It'll
yeah,
make a
I
lot
do that
more
a lot.
sense.
We just we won't have
Yeah. Let's get up in that shit. Oh, man.
All right, welcome everyone. Welcome back to the Breathman podcast. If you're listening to this, we are now into the year 2019. So happy New Year. My name is Bucci,
I'm well.
This is Jonathan.
and today we have a very, very special guest with us. Can you introduce yourself?
Hey guys, I'm Ari.
So Ari, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm currently from New York, and yeah, just hanging out with the guys and putting my little perspective on everything.
Okay. And for everyone, Ari is an actress,
Model.
model, jack of all trades. All right, so today we're going to be talking about ghosting.
Ooh. I like this.
Yeah, so it's not Halloween, but I've seen too many ghosts in 2018. I mean, the thing with ghosting is we see it at work nowadays. We see it with romantic partners. We see friends get ghosted. Sometimes we even see family members get ghosted too. So I just think we have a lot to say. I'll get right into it and start with the first question. Have any of y'all ever been ghosted?
Hell yes. Hell yeah.
All right,
Sucks.
John, you want to tell us about that?
I'll start with the most recent. So there was a girl that I was talking to. We were cool. Like, it was like, I liked her. Like, yeah, I'll say liked. I'm talking past tense. I liked her. She was cool. She did her little DJ music thing, but she worked too. We had a cool vibe. We never really argued or anything like that. And, like, what was this? Like, late November, I was supposed to help her with a DJ gig, but I think she already found help. And I think 2 days later, I hit her up to say hi. Nothing. A couple days later, I hit her up again. Nothing. A week later, I'm hitting her up. Yo, what's going on? Nothing. 2 weeks later, nothing. 3 weeks later, now we're at the end of December.
You're persistent, bro.
Still nothing.
That's a lot of persistence.
Wait, so this was someone that you like had a working relationship with?
Not at work, just relationship in general. Like,
Oh, okay.
We would talk for regularly for the most part. She was busy and I was busy too, so it wasn't as regularly as I wanted it to be. But it was regular enough, and we went out a few times and stuff like that. She came to an event or two, and yeah, she just ghosted me out of nowhere.
Did you ever find out why you got ghosted?
She just hit me up yesterday.
And what did she say?
She was like, "Oh, I just never got around to hitting you up,
So you're
and I was
priority.
mad busy, and then I just didn't feel like answering because I was mad busy with stuff." I'm like, "You couldn't just send a text like, hey, listen, I'm a little whatever, you know, I
Tied
need
up.
some time. Yeah, I need some time. I'll get back to you at a later date." Like, that's all she could have said, and it would have been fine. I would have waited a month, 2 months, 3 months, however long she wanted to distance herself.
Well, I actually I even forgot to ask the question: what is ghosting? How do y'all define ghosting in the first place?
By that story. Never answering back.
Yeah.
There's like constant communication with someone, and then out of nowhere, they don't respond back for whatever reason.
Yeah, just the fact that you were talking at one point, and then the next point you're not talking, not responding, no matter what, how the person tries to reach out.
Were there any signs that she would ghost you leading up to that?
She had sketchy communication skills. Like, she would sometimes it'll take her a day or so to get back to me, but I understood she was busy. You know, she was working 60 hours a week at one point, but then she quit that job, worked another job, which is overnight. So it was cool. But then when she just nothing, like, not even to answer, like, yo, I'm like, yo, are you good? Like, did you not die or something like that? She wouldn't even answer that. I'm like, and then when I realized she was ignoring me, I was like, did I say something to you or something? Like, I don't like that. Like, if we cool, like I feel like you should have enough respect to like just hit somebody back and be like, yo, I'm not feeling this, or yo, I got something going on. I need some space. Like, why just ignore the person?
So this is one thing I always think about ghosting. On one hand, I'm like, well, it's always nice to give someone the common courtesy to say, for whatever reason, I'm not gonna reach out to you anymore. I'm not gonna respond to you anymore. But then on the other hand, unless you guys were in a whole ass relationship, I feel like she doesn't really owe you anything, right? Like, because I feel like she can just decide one day to drop you for no reason at all, and that's fine. It might be a little rude, it might make her look bad, but I don't think that she's necessarily wrong for that.
I agree with Gucci, actually. There's no, like, ties to you yet. You know what I mean? You're not, like, boyfriend, girlfriend. There's no, like, emotional bond there, like, fulfilled yet.
What?
However, I do agree to some degree that, like, a reasoning would be nice when no one's, like, left hanging or left out in the dark for the most part.
Yeah.
However, I've also done my pretty fair share of ghosting my damn self, so I'm on both sides of the coin.
All right, well, let's talk about that. Well, for you as a ghost,
Booger, nigga. Yo.
so why do you ghost people? Why are you always ghosting these women?
I'm petty. I'm gonna be very honest. I'm very petty. So,
All right,
like,
so what's the pettiest reason why you've ghosted someone?
she chewed wrong. And I know it sounds weird. I swear to God, bro. And, like,
What's the right way to chew?
quietly. If I gotta hear everything that's going on in your mouth, there's an issue. There's an issue. I don't hear the smacking, the lip sucking. Like, dog, it was just a lot. And I was like,
you know what they say about women who chew loudly, right?
no,
I don't know.
they deserve to be ghosted. Yeah, so, like, we went to dinner like twice. The first time I was like, all right, I can deal with it. I think had some drinks. The second time there was no drinks involved, and I just was like, I gotta go home. I gotta get out of here. And I never ever responded again. Just kind of left it
She
alone.
texted you like she
Yeah.
like reached out
A few times. Let's go to dinner. Let's go here.
And you just didn't respond.
I looked at it a few times and I was like, that'd be cool, but nah. If it involves food and you eat your mouth, you gotta pass. It's a hard no.
No,
It's a very hard no.
that's crazy.
I'm petty though, you know. You could walk funny, right, with a crook.
But like there's nothing inside of you that's like, damn, that's fucked up. Like,
Yeah, I'll reach out later on and be like, hey, here's why. Maybe if I felt like it was like going somewhere beforehand with
Is
enough
there
dates.
time you just never even reached out to say, hey, like,
Once maybe, but for the most part, I usually reach out at some point down the line. Within a year's time, I'll reach out
But
to
why
close
do you
that
tell
loop.
her at that moment? Why do you wait till later to let her know?
Because I'm very bad at communicating how I feel sometimes when it's negative.
Sometimes.
When it's negative, and like I feel like it's gonna hurt someone's feelings. So I need to find a different way to approach it, rather than just like, hey, you eat like an asshole. Like that's very hard to tell somebody.
well, I'm just trying to put some words together. Like, if you, I can't think of a more petty reason to diss somebody because they eat wrong.
I'm a petty individual.
I would have told them up front, like, yo, can you like chew quieter?
On a first date, you tell someone to chew quiet.
Someone that. That's how they chew. That's how they chew.
Exactly.
You have to accept it.
You
or
could
leave
just
them
say
alone.
it jokingly.
Do you want me to
but
not
then be
enjoy
serious.
this meal? I'm gonna tear the shit out of this
No,
Alfredo.
I'm like, damn, you must really like that food. You chewing loud as hell, and just like laugh, and she's like, oh, and she would have noticed it. Maybe she would chew quieter.
So now you make myself conscious.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh shit.
You see what I mean? Now you're putting insecurities now. She's gonna go around eating like by herself in a corner. Like, yes, messed up.
Well, at least you don't hear it, right?
That's why you not ghost. That's why you separate yourself if you can't handle it, and just, you do your thing, I do my thing.
Well, Bucci, have you ever ghosted anyone or been ghosted?
I definitely have. I'll get to that later. I wanted to ask Will a question first though.
Shoot.
Because so the example that you gave was you ghosted someone because something was wrong with that person, right? But sometimes I think people ghost people because something's wrong with themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever ghosted someone because something was wrong with you?
Once actually I have. I can admit that. Yeah, one time. Senior year of college, I met a woman that early senior year of college. Met a woman that worked for the Miami Heat,
Mm-hmm.
and super successful. And she invited me up for drinks, knowing I had no job yet, I was still in college, and I didn't feel comfortable yet because she wanted to pay for everything and like have me out. And I was like, I can't do it. So I started driving to the date, and then I was like, nah. Like I turned around. I texted her. I texted beforehand. It was
Oh,
like,
okay,
look, I
that's
can't
good.
make it. And then I just never texted back after that. So I was like, I need to be on a different level before I can be out here with like NBA executives and you know what I mean, like that kind of thing. So
So
yeah,
you fucked up.
I did fuck up. Looking back at that now.
You didn't ghost her though. Right?
No, after that, yeah, I didn't talk anymore. I didn't text back anymore after that because
She kept texting you.
yeah,
Hashtag it's a ghost.
yeah. She texted back, but it was because like she wanted to pay for things and like I didn't feel fully comfortable in that environment where like someone's paying for everything that I do at that point, and I wanted to kind of be able to hold my own. So
Well, the concept of sugar mamas wasn't as popular back then, but you should have taken advantage of that.
I should have,
Yeah.
but I have a heart sometimes.
Oh, now you got a heart.
Do you want to talk about being heartless? I mean, Mister, I don't have a heart no more.
That's not what this conversation is about. It's about ghosting.
All right. Well, I do want to get to Ari's question because she asked me, have I ever ghosted someone? I can think of two instances when I did. One when I was a little younger, and the other one is more recent. When I was younger, it was when I was younger. I was swagless. I probably still am swagless, but I just lacked a lot of confidence. There was this woman that I was interested in, and she became interested in me. Yeah, and she was like super attractive, super cool, super friendly. And I met her at the wrong time. I wasn't ready to handle something like that. And even though we met, we like had a ton of chemistry. We like talked all the time.
What do you mean by you can't handle something like that? Something like what?
I wasn't emotionally ready because I felt like she was at a place where I was not. So even though we had a lot of chemistry, we didn't spend a lot of time together. We talked a lot on the phone, and we just had so many common interests. And like I was really into music, and she was really into music, and it's hard for me to find someone that vibes with me on that level. And I freaked out. I freaked out because I was like, there's no way that this person can have all these qualities that I want in someone. And I just stopped texting her back.
You ghosted her?
That's the whole point.
Yo, I didn't even know that.
So she would text you, call you, you just would not respond.
Yeah. And then
That's interesting.
after a while, she just got the hint.
That's interesting because sometimes I feel that when someone's ghosted, they think something's wrong with them. But sometimes it could be the other person's not ready for what you have to offer.
Right. That's my point. And I think Will touched on it earlier because me growing up, part of my maturation has been to realize that like communicating with a partner or like anyone you have a relationship with, a friend or whatever it is, it's better to communicate. So at the very least, even if they don't agree with you, they'll know where things stand. The worst feeling in the world is to not know why something is happening.
Oh my god.
And I think that that's what's so fucked up about ghosting, right?
I agree.
Like I can say, oh, I went on a first date with someone and it was great, but I really didn't like the way I don't know, the way she was asking too many questions about the future. And I don't want that kind of pressure because I'm not thinking about the future right now. So probably what most people do is say, I'm not going to text her again. I'm not going to call her again. But maybe what you should do is say, hey, it was great getting to know you. I'm not in the state of mind to be thinking about the future right now. If you want to continue to talk and get to know each other, I can do that slowly, but I'm not ready to like think about the future. Like you can do that and things would be okay, but probably what most people do is just never hit that person up again.
I agree with that. Ari, since you're our guest here,
Yes.
and the woman's perspective,
Yes.
how do you feel about ghosting, and have you, one, been ghosted on, and then two, how much ghosting have you done?
Yeah, exactly. Because not even has she done it. Look at her. She has definitely ghosted a guy or 10.
Okay, so have I ever been ghosted on? If I have, I don't remember, or I didn't take it personally where I thought, oh, he ghosted on me, but I've definitely ghosted on people. And like, I know it's bad because I'm laughing about it. And
Cold-blooded.
I've definitely, well, you guys know, I've ghosted on friends and, guys I've dated. And I think a lot of it, I try not to do that anymore. A lot of it was just bad communication on my part. For me, I didn't want to hurt, I think you said it well, I didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. So instead of, there's two reasons. One, I didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. And it's like, there may be, something that you don't like about the person, or they did something and you don't want to talk to them about it because they may be offended. But then on the other hand, sometimes, especially with guys, you tell them how you feel and they don't accept it. They keep calling you, they keep showing up at places where you are. And it's like, I'm being open, I'm being blunt about how I feel. Why don't you get it? So for me, the better option is to ghost.
So it could be a safety thing for
Yes,
women, right?
Yes. Where, like, let's say you're dating a guy and he's giving you the creepy vibes, and if you tell this guy, okay, I'm not really feeling you, they're going to ask why. And then when you tell them, they'll be offended. Or, okay, he might have dropped you. You don't want him to drop you off at your house because he might follow you. You know what I mean? It's just like all these things where it's like, no, I just have to ghost you because, like, for my safety. Or there's been times where a guy wanted to talk to you, or you're dating, you don't like him, you let him know, and he doesn't accept it. He's like, why don't you, want to be with me? I'm the best guy out there. And, like, he doesn't understand. He gets frustrated. You talk to him. He doesn't get it. He's calling you, mad at you. He doesn't understand. And for me, I don't view, people as there's something wrong with you. It's just that maybe we're not compatible, or maybe, there's things about you that I don't feel are right for me at this time. And so you ghost. You stop taking their calls. You stop texting them. You stop trying to get to know them because it's just not a right fit. And I guess you have to assess the situation. I think it's better to explain to the person why you don't want to continue the relationship. Because I've ghosted people, and I don't think it's right for people not to know why. I think it hurts people's feelings. You can, like, make someone think that there's something wrong with them, and there could be nothing wrong with them. It's just, you're just not a good fit. And so I don't think you should ghost. I think that you should depending on the person, sit down, talk to them, and really hash it out. Like, for example, I kind of ghosted on a really good friend of mine. And for me, I had to do that because I feel like it was years and years of backed up miscommunication where I never expressed how I felt. I never stood up for myself. And in relationships, sometimes when you don't stand up for yourself initially, when something happens, it keeps going. And then you resent that person because that person keeps hurting you, and they don't know. And for me, what I would do is I would just ghost. Instead of speaking my truth, I would just leave and not really talk to that person, and let them know how I felt.
So do you think it's more painful to ghost a romantic interest or like a good friend?
I think a good friend.
I agree.
Really? How come?
Because good friends, most of the time, they know everything about you. You've been through a lot. You've known them for a long time. And so there's more invested. When you're just dating someone, there's not really anything invested. Like, you just met them. They don't know it. They don't really know much about you. Or, I mean, if you're married or you have been with someone for a long time, that's on the same level as a good friend. Because, like, you have to be good friends to be with someone for a long time, I would assume. So there's just more investment in that. And to just leave this person hanging it's not good karma. And it's not, like, if you love someone, you wouldn't do that to them.
Yeah, I think it takes a lot to ghost a friend because with my friends in the ideal world, we can communicate openly with each other.
Yes.
Like, if you have a problem with me, hopefully you can come and talk to me about it instead of, like, unfollowing me on social media or something like that.
Petty.
But absolutely, we going there.
Shots fired.
Right, but, like, that's the level of expectations that I have with my friends, that, like, part of our friendship is that we're able to communicate with each other.
Yes.
Right? Instead of, like you said with your friend, you may have had a problem, but you may not have talked about it and you might have built resentment and you're like, oh man, it's just easier if I just let this
Yep.
go, right? Like, and I know with like I'm bad at texting. I know that, like my friends tell me that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. I don't disagree. I very much agree. I like texting is a chore, but I do and I have been trying to get better and make the effort to stay present with my friends in whatever way that I can. But I feel like generally it's a lot easier to ghost because like with technology, like I feel like texting is a chore because you can easily get inundated with so many messages that like each message loses its value. Right? Like I can leave my phone alone for 24 hours and probably have like 20 to 30 texts. And I have to then prioritize like which ones am I going to look at. And if it's for friendships or relationships that are not,
You have a lot of friends.
I have
Male or female?
You a social butterfly. Huh?
it doesn't matter the
Somehow
gender.
short
Start
text.
stuttering.
It doesn't. My friendships do not discriminate based on gender. You know.
That means women.
Yeah, we know. You can't fool us.
Got that beard and was like, yo, it's the glow.
Listen, can we just talk about for a second? Why does facial hair change how people perceive someone? Because as soon as I grew a beard, so many people, like at work, like my friends, are like, "Oh, Butcher, you look so different. I don't know what it is about you."
You got that 10
You got
pounds.
that grown man
that
swag.
10
Like, oh, you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
That 10 pounds of masculinity on your face right there.
Seriously, I don't.
Grizzliness. That's why I want a beard. I
You can't grow one though.
Your beard don't connect,
You
bro.
need to put
That won't work.
What? Shut up. What?
some castor oil.
Castor oil?
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna work.
John's beard, you know what? It's like,
Yeah, I
it's
didn't
like,
think you're more manly.
it's like the ghosting of like facial hair. That's his.
So your beard goes in your face.
I know. I've been texting my beard for years. It don't text me back.
Exactly.
Especially if you have a beard that's like nice and neat. Woo!
Yeah, is mine neat?
Yeah, yours is nice and neat.
See, like, I want girls to say that to me.
You have 5 hairs.
I got the.
Get a lace beard.
Yo, I'm gonna do it. I don't care. I'm gonna get a lace beard. Shoot, straight from lace.com.
I'm gonna look some up. I got you.
Right?
All right. Well, so back to ghosting. So, do you guys think a relationship can be repaired once you've ghosted someone or once you've been ghosted? Can you fix that relationship?
I think so, actually.
Yes.
I picked a few from that. Like, the people I've ghosted before, except I've reached out at some point and fixed it and kind of explained my half of why I did everything and kind of make a friendship out of it. And if not, at least get peace of mind and close that loop as to, like, why. So there's always that thought of, like, oh, will ghost me and I'm a piece of shit or whatever the case may be. So I think it's possible. It's just a matter of how it's communicated and the level at which it's expressed after the fact. Ari?
Yeah.
It's a no for me, dog.
That's what that looked like. That looked like
Well, for me, I guess I think if I, like you said, if I tell them my truth and I'm open, I think people are open to that. Like, I just had a friend, I ghosted on her because I was just always sensitive and I took everything to heart. And, things were going on. I never explained to her how I felt. And so I ghosted on her and she reached out and I told her why why that happened and we spoke about it. And now we're cool. We're trying to fix our relationship. So I think that if you have because growing up, you find that you're not going to get it's hard to create good relationships with people. So when you do find people that you can create those good relationships with, you have to upkeep them. Just like your home or your car, you have to put work in it. And sometimes people do need that space to ghost and go off and do their own thing. And once you can be open to that, you won't take offense to it and you can put that relationship back together.
But the thing about ghosting is that you never know that people need to ghost. They just ghost. So, like, you're not just going to sit here and, like, text somebody for a couple minutes. Like, oh, I guess he just ghosted me or she just ghosted me because she needed space. I'll leave her alone. Like, you're just going to wonder, like, what's going on. So, because that's what that girl that ghosted me said. She said, oh, I just needed some time. I'm like, but how do I know you need that time? especially if there was nothing wrong with our relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So why is it so easy for us to just ghost?
I think. Oh, go ahead, Bucci.
Well, I was gonna say there's this article in the Washington Post that talked about the top 5 reasons why people ghost. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
All right. So reason number
Find
one is they're scared of confrontation, right? We talked about that. Reason number 2 is they sense the other person is dangerous. I already mentioned
Yeah.
that earlier. Reason number 3 is they lost track of all of their budding relationships. So basically, they're juggling so many people that like a few people fall through the cracks. That's me. Reason number 4 is they want to avoid inflicting pain on someone. That's Will. And then reason number 5, and we haven't talked about this, and maybe we can talk about this a little bit. They're dealing with depression or trauma. So, like when people go through stages of depression, one big sign of it is that they completely withdraw from their
Yep.
life, right? So sometimes when someone ghosts, it's just because mentally they're not okay, and like sometimes when you're going through things, it's. I'll speak for myself. Like I was in grad school like 3 years ago. It was like one of the toughest periods of my time. I went to a school that had a really, really challenging like academic curriculum. And I'm this kid from the Bronx, and I went to like public schools my whole life. I went to a city university school here in New York. I was not ready for that experience. I wasn't ready for all of these people who on the surface like looked so much smarter than I was, and I just wanted to make sure that I could keep up. Like I felt like I was struggling to stay afloat with school and everything that was going on. So I was not in a good place. And what did I do as a result? I withdrew. I withdrew from my classmates. I withdrew from my friends from back home. I withdrew from my family members. And the reason why I did that is because I was ashamed, because for the first time in my life I would look like a failure. So rather than looking like a failure to everyone that, you know, that I know and care about, I'm like, nah, let me just, you don't have to hear from me. Like I'll wait until I'm better and then y'all can hear from me. You know, but I now realize that's not the best way to go about it, because your friends, your family, like those are the people that will support you, that will give you the right advice to get you to where you need to go.
I could agree with you on there because the way I don't ghost people like, and like 100%, I ghost like details.
What do you
If
mean?
that means like, I'll still talk to you, but I'll stop telling you what's going on with me, like, or I'll just say something just to get the conversation through, or get it, like keep going with the conversation, but then I'll hold stuff back because like I'm going through things like, you know, something bad that I'm embarrassed about, so I won't tell nobody about it until like later on. Like they get at me all the time, but I just said something to them like the other day, and I was like, you know, like holding out for like mad long, actually, like a couple months. I was holding out like the details because I just felt like I didn't want to tell anybody. I didn't want to deal with what anybody had to say. So like I was chilling.
And I think what you run the risk of, if you don't let people, important people in your life, if you don't let them know like what's going on with you, one, they won't know how to help you. And you should always assume that the important people in your life want to help you. And two, they're just going to assume that you're an asshole. Right? Like a lot of my friends from undergrad, they just saw that like, oh, Bucci, he just stopped responding to messages, so he's just an asshole. They didn't know what I was going through. They didn't know I was like super stressed out and I was like depressed. Like and at the school that I went to, we literally have like a mental health center for students who are going through the same shit that I was going through. I didn't even know that, right? But like, because I didn't go and like communicate that to my friends and just say, hey, school is really, really stressful, I'm not going to be able to be present and all that, they, you know, they were rightfully upset with me. And it wasn't until like a couple of my friends, they then went to business school and then they're pulling away, and I'm like, oh, I know exactly what you're going through. Take your time, do you. Hit me up in like a year and a half. That's fine.
Damn, a year and a half.
Yeah.
I can see a couple weeks, a year and a half. Damn.
So I guess I have a question for everybody here. Do y'all think, because I guess ghosting is largely associated with like dating rather than like friendships. So is there more, efficient way to go about ending something with somebody rather than ghosting, with the dating wise, not just like friendship, but dating wise.
Hell yeah. I mean, you tell them like, listen, this is not working out because of A, B, and C. You know, you say it nicely, the nicest way you can.
But through text, or do it have to be in person?
In person.
Definitely in person, because through text, like, language is so nonverbal. So through text, someone can say something and you can take it a different way. Like when you're with someone, you're feeling their energy, you're reading their body language, you know, you're really seeing them. But through text or even on the phone, you can't really get all of that. And sometimes a lot of what you're getting is what they're not saying. So through a text, you're not going to get that. Like me, I see people not by what they do say, but by what they don't say. That's how you can really understand a person. So you have to talk to these people, well, whoever you want to ghost, and really tell them why you want to ghost. And you know what? They may even want to work things out with you. And instead of losing a good person, you could be gaining a good person.
True.
So I think that we need to stop being punk asses and start talking to people before we just cut things off.
Amen.
I agree with that.
And I'm saying that not to be like high and mighty, but like I've done it so much, I'm like, there has to be a better way.
I agree. I think a lot of
You
times
just create a lot of enemies. So.
Yeah.
Well, no, and it gets lost right now in this day and age with like technology, where everything is through text or a DM. Like, you see a lot of people now on dates and like they're on their phones, or they're texting each other on the actual date,
Yes, I don't understand
and
that.
seeing face to face, but like texting one another, which I've seen countless times.
That's crazy.
And it's like, it almost, for me personally, it makes me want to. The moment someone's phone's out on a date, especially a first date, my mind's already gone. Like, if your phone's out, I'm already making my exit, because it's just like, you don't have the respect on this date to kind of like give me that time,
Exactly.
that like hour and a half, 2 hours at max probably, to like give me attention. So it's like, I'm already planning my exit at that point.
Exactly. Yeah, that's not cool. Why do people do that?
I don't know. I think because
And then when you're not with them, they never respond back. And it's like, I know you're on your phone all the time. I know you see my calls and my texts.
exactly, or you see him active on Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh my god. That
Like-
shit gets
like
me.
a
And
word?
that's another reason why I ghost, because it's like, okay, I'm texting you and calling you, you're not responding, so I'm not going to respond when you hit me back.
Yep.
Because you're picking and choosing, like, no, you're not a celebrity. You can't just
Exactly.
move the way you want. Like, people have feelings.
Celebrities included, so you guys don't feel,
Well,
like-
yeah. Well, do you guys think that ghosting, like, if you're ghosted, does that hurt your self-esteem and your confidence?
Yeah. Definitely does. And because like you're wondering, like it's like you just start nitpicking at yourself. And I'm a Virgo, so I overthink everything. And so like if some girl ghosts me, I'm like, all right, what's wrong with me? Am I too fat? You know,
Maybe.
did she not like the way I kissed her, or did she not like that I touched her leg that one time? I don't know. I just started thinking random stuff.
Hashtag Me Too movement.
Or did I stink? Or was my shoes not the right shoes? Did she not like my shoes?
You do have an odor though, but continue.
We all got odor, we're humans. Whether it's good or bad, that's the difference. But yeah, I started nitpicking at myself, and like I just keep wondering, like, why? Like that's the biggest thing, like why? Like, oh, maybe I shouldn't talk to girls no more because
No,
I got
don't do
ghosted or something like that. So it definitely affects the self-esteem. What the fuck is so funny?
Will and I are thinking the exact same thing. John's like, I don't want to talk to girls no more.
So are you?
Nah, nigga, nah.
Hey,
Nah.
John is wearing a pink hoodie right now, by the way.
It's cool. It's cool if you are though. Like,
There's nothing wrong with this.
no, look,
Manly.
we're your friends. We'll support you no matter what you decide on this earth.
Yo, take that mic. I'll beat you with it. Until it's not a mic no more.
Okay, but that's not my question though. That's not my point.
John,
We will
love is
support
love,
you, man.
Love is love.
Ari, how do you feel? Well, you never got ghosted, but I'm trying to.
I probably,
Not even by a friend?
yes, in high school, but
Nah, I don't count.
yeah, as I'm sure I have. Have I ever been ghosted?
Damn, Ari's like, I'm too pretty to be ghosted.
No, I'm not saying
That
that.
She got them dimples, and eyes,
Oh,
man.
shit don't happen to me.
Now she's blushing.
All you single men out there,
Yes, I'm single. No, a guy did stand me up, but is that ghosting? He contacted me.
He let you know after.
Yeah.
Oh nah,
Nah.
That's
it's,
totally ghosting.
nah, it's not.
Doesn't count. But how do you think you would feel if somebody ghosted you? That you was talking to, like, intimately wise or dating wise?
I don't know. I think I would feel hurt. But then I would be like, I would be okay with it because I
Yeah.
feel like these, like, people live their lives and they're not obligated. If I'm just dating the person, they're not
Mhm.
obligated to me. But if it was like a boyfriend
Oh,
that
yeah,
I
that's
was
different.
like intimate with
Mhm.
and loved, and he just ghosted on me, I would hunt him down.
But what
And
if
I-
what if he had like a
Bet I'd be in the bush.
Yeah.
Bet I'd be in the bush.
what if he had like a secret baby and he had to leave to take care of his responsibilities?
Then I would just let it go.
Yeah, I think it's when you're ghosted, it's hard to get over it because when someone ghosts, I don't think it's about you, the person who's ghosted. It's about the person who is ghosting, right? They're failing to communicate in some kind of way. But I think if I'm being ghosted, I'm always gonna look at it as I did something wrong, and I don't know what I did wrong, so I'm just sitting there spinning the wheels. Like John was saying, like I don't think it's a good feeling to be ghosted, which is why I hope that in all of my like relationships, friendships, whatever in the future that I prioritize communicating so if I ever have an issue, it doesn't come to the point where I'm just gonna up and run away. So like if I'm leaving or getting out of the situation, you will not be surprised because I've been telling you the whole time, here's my issue, here's my issue.
I don't think I really felt hurt by ghosting too much. No more than like a day or two. Me personally, like it hasn't happened often, but it doesn't affect me that much. The way I look at it is just kind of like you probably didn't have much in the beginning with anyway, and I may or may not have been probably feeling the exact same way, just didn't do it yet. So for me, it's just not to sound cocky or anything, but just like I feel like I know my own worth. So if you decide to ghost me, I know that like I'll probably find something better at some point, or maybe it just wasn't meant to be, or things happen. And I'm pretty big on like things happen for a reason. So if
That's a great way to look at it.
kudos.
Yeah. I'm gonna start looking at it from that, so I don't feel like I want to choke somebody when I get ghosted.
I mean, do you really want to sound like a damn? I mean, kind of violent as fuck.
No, John is the nicest guy.
I am nice. See, thank you.
Yeah.
John, how many times have you spazzed out on a woman?
Ooh.
I never spaz out. What are you talking about? Nah, there's
Why
like
the
some-
fuck you lying?
Nah, just that you don't understand what these girls are doing, man.
What
What
do
is-
they do?
Let us know what's going
help
on.
me.
Sometimes they need to be told them about themselves.
All right, you're gonna have to break this down, John.
I'm trying to understand. Hold on, I'm trying to
Listen,
understand.
sometimes they do stuff and they think, like some girls just think that they could say and do whatever they want to you, and like just disrespect you, and then you just supposed to take it, you know?
How so? How
Can
do
you give us
they?
an example?
Yeah, how do they disrespect you?
Man, let me think of a story.
Yeah, you got a plethora right now. Going through Rolodex.
Oh, you got the phone on me too.
I mean, you're being recorded.
I'm just trying to think of a specific. Damn, I wish I would have done it if I could think of a specific time.
In a previous episode, John, you talked about you broke a window or something like that. Was that related to?
Oh no,
a
that was
woman?
different.
That was different. That was different.
Oh,
You
so
know,
you're
I
just
was mad
violent.
too.
Yeah.
No, I ain't violent. No. No, the 19-year-old, she was just crazy. She just made me like want to yell at her because she was doing crazy stuff.
Like what?
She was crazy. Like she would she locked me out of my Facebook account.
How did she like that?
She locked me out of my Facebook account.
But
Why-
those are things
Yo.
I did as a 19-year-old.
But why does she have access to his Facebook account?
John.
But because she
She was-
wanted to check to see if I was talking to dirty girls.
So you gave it the
And then she
password.
found something from like years ago, and then she locked me out of my account. And I was like, yo, what the hell is wrong with you?
What the hell's wrong with you?
No, screw that. I mean, that's not a good example. I'm trying to think of something else where some girl just said
I say Renee.
said something crazy.
I think Renee. And I said it only because I'll never forget the story. Personally, we're in the library chilling, doing homework, freshman year of college. Y'all on AIM. Just have to take this so old we are.
Oh.
Yeah.
I just got up
John,
and
can
knew
you
I
tell
was
the
like, yo, I
story?
gotta go.
All right, tell us the
Well,
stuff.
I don't. He probably remember better. I think me and her were talking about. She wanted to end things.
Wait, you were in a relationship.
Yeah.
They're
Of some
girlfriend,
sorts.
boyfriend. You
Yeah,
girlfriend, boyfriend.
Yeah, at that point we was going out,
Uh-huh.
and then she wanted to end things, and I was like, nah, I'm not having this. So
That's why you know some people because they don't stay. Oh
They don't
my
wanna
God.
accept the
Yes,
fact that-
I
no.
was a 17, 18-year-old kid, like, so I got up. The reason why she broke up with me even more messed up. So I got up and I went and I knocked on the door, but she
Okay,
wasn't there.
no.
You just tapped on her door?
He's based on way more mild man right there, right now.
It wasn't that crazy. Not like I went in there and tried to kick
Bruh.
down.
So let me give you the actual story.
Don't exaggerate.
I won't.
Cause I don't
We're
remember
in the library. We're doing homework. He's on AIM. I didn't know he was on AIM yet. He's talking to that person or whatever. Next thing I know, John closed the computer mad hard. He goes, "We out." I said, "Wait, what?" He goes, "Nigga, we out. Let's go." We walk over to her dorm room. You pull open the door that is locked, and you pull it open.
because that door was messed up anyway. So if you pulled it hard, you could snatch it open.
Exactly. You don't have a key. So
But
Wait, it was
nobody
to
ever
her
has
dorm?
to her
the
main-
building,
main
the
room.
main building of it, yeah.
Okay.
So John goes inside. He's banging on the door.
I'm not banging. I think I knocked.
Dog, you old forearm. And thankfully, she wasn't home. We leave out. I see her across the street with 3 other people. And I say, "Hey, John, there she is now." And he just screamed at the top of his lungs.
What did you scream, John?
Just like some damn Super Saiyan shit. Like, ah!
So I think I said I don't give a fuck about her or something like that.
It seemed like you really gave a fuck.
Of course I did. And then to come to find out, she said the reason why she broke with me because she was on her period.
Wait, word?
What?
Yeah, she
You
told
never-
me,
you never
it's
told
my
me that.
Period.
You never.
That's why I broke up with you because I was on my period.
So
and
you
I
get
was
broken
feeling
up with
the type
once a month?
I
Maybe
guess
that
that's what it
time
was.
she really was just not feeling good.
I don't know what it was, but she broke up with me because it might have been a little argument going on, and she broke up with me, and she blamed it on her period. I'm like, "Your
Okay, I
period?"
can understand that.
What?
Help us understand, because we're 3 dudes who are looking
Well,
confused
I'm not
as
going to speak
fuck.
for all women. I'm just going to speak for myself. Sometimes you just feel like one time, I just felt so sad.
Mhm.
And I was like, why do I feel so sad? And it was because of that. And then, like, once it was over, I was like, oh, everything's good.
Mhm.
So, maybe that was a lie. Maybe she really was
I don't
feeling
know.
that way.
I mean, we
but-
kept hooking up after we broke up, but like,
And wait, you got back together?
we
She
never
Cardi
got
B'd
back
you.
together. We never got back together. I don't know what I don't know what that means.
So
but
Cardi B is married to Offset. Offset like cheated on her. So Cardi B
Yeah.
broke up with Offset, and she just like flew back from Puerto Rico with him because she needed some D. So
Wait. So it's not back together.
Wow.
no, they're not
Oh,
back
I know.
together. She just wanted to keep hooking up with him.
Damn. That sounds
Sorry,
awful.
Well, that's
That-
pretty much
that reference went
exactly
over your
how
head.
it was. That's exactly how it was.
Shout
I
out to
remember
Cardi
spring
B.
break.
Yeah.
We was in spring break. We was dancing, and she just told me straight up, "So I want to take you back to the room." I was like,
I remember that. You left me. Yeah, you all chilling. So chilling, you fucking disappeared.
With Gilbert.
You was there.
"No, her room, not my room."
Oh, okay.
You was there 'cause you were chilling with me and Lloyd at that point.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just met you too.
Yeah.
How you leave a boy with 2 random ass people?
You know, when the coochie call, you gotta answer. Skip, 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 skip. There you go.
I'm not even mad.
Of course.
That's so sad.
We used to fly to Europe for the D.
Wait. Didn't you fly to Europe for some P?
You literally did fly to Europe.
Except for some D.
P. Because I was on that trip.
Yeah.
And you was an angry motherfucker that
I was
whole
sad.
trip.
She ghosted me. She ghosted me.
Because that's crazy. Who does that?
No. She knew
Johnson,
I
that's
was coming,
code.
but she still ghosted me.
Wait, can you tell
No,
this? Can you tell the
was-
story? Tell the
It was
story.
planned out and everything. Like I hit her. I was like, "Yo, I'm coming." I just got back from deployment. I come to see. She's like, "Yeah, I can't wait to see you." Blah 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 blah. As soon as I got there, Nothing. I had bought like a little bootleg phone. Remember the
Yeah.
little phone, whatever I had to get to talk to her. Whenever I'm texting her, nothing
Wait, so you land? Where was this?
We landed in the UK.
in the UK.
Oh, so you landed. You landed in the UK, and you traveled to meet up with someone, and then you hit her up, and
Well, she wasn't the main purpose of the travel, but that
Uh-huh.
was one of the stops. You know, I was gonna see her,
Mhm.
and she ghosted. Come to find out, I guess in between the time that I was making the plans, and then before I got there, I guess she met some other guy, and they got serious, and then like I guess she felt bad or something like that, and didn't want to talk to me, so she just ghosted me.
It just made me think, like, do you think sometimes ghosting, not just you, just like in general, can be your own fault? Like, do we not read signs? Like, sometimes people can say stuff, but then they do something else. So they might pause at certain words or something, and we don't see it.
I think so. Like if you're texting and you get like a 2-word response to like a paragraph or like stuff like that, I think that's a.
Well, that's too obvious.
No, I'm saying like that's like those are signs. Some people don't get those signs. They'll keep texting and they'll keep like reaching out and not getting much back.
yeah, I would say especially for like relationships between men and women, and I think sometimes a guy will pursue heavily, and the woman will be very like ambivalent, like she's
Yep.
not showing actual interest, but as long as she doesn't say no, the guy will keep on going, right? Like the guy
Because she
might be
didn't
like,
say no.
"Hey, can I come visit you?" And she'd be like, "Oh, I guess you can come if you want."
And he's like,
And
oh,
he's like,
babe.
"Oh shit, yeah, I can come," right? So like that kind of situation might lead to someone being ghosted, and he might be mad, like, "Oh, what the fuck? I thought she was giving me all these signs," when really she's just like, "I don't really care one way or the other."
But it can also go both ways though, because there are women or guys too where it's like you're giving all this energy out, and if you're not giving it back, you'll stop your damn self and be like, you know what, I'm not giving enough energy to this. Too much energy I'm putting out, and then you'll leave situations.
Ghost.
You like go ghost, and that person's like, oh, why aren't you talking to me anymore? And then come back after you, and it's like, well, you weren't matching my energy earlier on, so why now? You know what I mean? And it's like
Yeah.
too late, too late, too soon. That's just my thought, though.
I guess we just have to start talking to each other, like being blunt about things.
Yeah, I agree.
But I heard what you said about the whole safety thing. Like, I understand that. I guess for
Do you?
women, it'd be. No, I do. I got to understand it. You know what I'm saying?
Open the fucking door.
No, but I feel like, I guess for women, it's just all about you gotta have a good vibe meter. Know when you could actually let somebody know, like, okay, this is not working out, or know when, like, yeah, this guy, I gotta ghost
A
it.
little off.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
I'm that guy you could tell. You know, you can tell me, like, yo, it's not working out.
So you're not gonna spaz on nobody?
No, I'm 29. I'm not gonna spaz on nobody.
As long as they say it nicely.
Yeah,
and,
if they explain, I'm like, you know, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm like, if they ain't like, if they say no, then that's it.
All right. Well, good conversation. We're gonna keep it going. We'll see you next time. Thank you for listening.
And Happy New Year and holidays.
Year.
New Year.
Happy New Year. Boop boop.